Okay, so you have your WordPress site up and running, and now you want to try and start to build some pages. And the best way we're going to do that, we're going to show you how to use a plugin called Thrive Architect, which is a WordPress drag and drop page builder. Okay, so it's really easy. So once you've got the plugin, you just load it into your plugins, this tab here. And then what you'll be able to do is once it's loaded in, you go to all pages. You can see we've set some pages up here, and we're going to just choose the about page. Click on edit, and as you can see, you come through to edit, and we have this button here which says edit with Thrive Architect. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to click that, which opens up a new window. So we've got our window here, and as you can see, we have got our main website here with our right sidebar. Now we want to get rid of this right sidebar, so we want to go back to the default. So edit the page, and down here it says the default template. So we want to then go to a one column no sidebar. So we click that, click update, and then refresh the page on our editor, and we should hopefully have got rid of the sidebar. There we go. So we've just got now a plain page. So what we want to do now is go and start to build our page. Now we can do this by dragging and dropping elements from the builder onto the page. Now the first thing we want is a background section. So we just drag that in. As you can see there, we get a background section, and I would click this button here, which means fit to the screen width. Okay. So we've now got that. We now need a content box. Okay, so we pull in our content box, and then with the content box, we're going to put a maximum width of 900. Okay, and what we're also going to do is centralize it. So we come down here, layout and position, and we're going to centralize it. So there we go. So we've got our content box. What you can do as you go along is just click the save button at the bottom every so often, and then what you've already done will be saved. Okay. Right, so that's the Thrive content box. So now what we need is, the first thing we need is a header. Now I'm going to be getting rid of this about title here, so I'm going to actually want to put on here meet, spell right, meet the bears. So we can then centralize that like we've got there. That's about the size I want on the text. So we now go back, and we now want to put in a paragraph. So we put a paragraph underneath, and I've actually gone and done some text, a little paragraph there, just to save a bit of time. So you can just copy and paste that, which is the beauty of this as well. You can actually copy and paste into the text, but just be careful how you do it, because it will pick up odd bits as well. Like I say, yeah, it's got breaks in it and everything, so you might just have to adjust it slightly and move it along. But there we go, that is it. That's our font size. We need to come down a little bit on font. So if you click in the box, you then get a font option, you get the height, width, the font color you can change, absolutely loads of different things you can change. You can change the background style and all sorts. Okay, so we're going to just reduce that down to I think probably 16 looks a bit better. What we'll also do, actually, look, we need to just take these back where the paragraph is, and that should look a lot better. That's better. Okay, so that's the first bit done. What we now need, so we can then click inside this paragraph, and we can actually go back, and everything is within the content box. Okay, now what we're going to do with the paragraph as well, we're going to put a border around it. So let's just put layout and position. This is where you can add borders and margins. So we're just going to put a bit of padding around it, and we're going to put 10 padding all the way around. So if you click the link in the middle, what that does is you can just add it to one side and it does it all the way around. It adds it all the way around. Okay, so we've put our margin around there, which is great. And what we're now going to do is we're going to add in some columns. That's what I want next. So if we drag the columns in and make sure it goes into the box, okay, and we can double check that by clicking on the columns in a second. So we're going to want 3 columns. Yeah, let's do 3 columns. Okay, and we can scroll up a bit. So if we hit the columns, you'll see again up the top here, it's within the content box, which is what you want. Okay, so it's still going to be with that 900 wide. Okay, so you can mess about here. You can do the minimum height and the gutter, and you can stretch to you know, fit the screen width, etc. And you can put obviously different positions in there. But we're going to leave it as is at the moment. It's defaulted to some margins here, which we can change if need be. But what we're going to now need to do is put some stuff in the columns. So the first thing we're going to want is a header. So let's push that in there. And we're going to put Bailey Bear in the first one. And we're going to reduce that down. So we need to get that down. Text options, so the font size, we want to reduce that right down, and we want to come to I think about 30, and we want to centralize it. So let's get the layout and position and centralize. Okay, so we're now centralized within the column. What we now need is an image underneath, and as soon as you put the image in there, it brings up your images. Now I obviously want a picture of Bailey, so we've got a picture of him there, and I've actually put these images in at the size we want. So if you have a larger image that actually comes into your media, I would actually try and put it on your site at the size you want, because then it means that the image will load much quicker and it won't slow your site down. If you want to edit your pictures, then I've done a video a little while ago about how you do that, so I'll put a link in the description below which will take you and show you how you can actually do that. So we want to insert this into the post. So there we go, we are in there, and we want to make sure also that that has centralized. So let's just centralize that, and then we want some text. So let's just head for a paragraph of text, pop that underneath, and again we've done some text already, so let's copy and paste that and add that in. Let's just scroll this up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So there we go, we'll add that in and we'll paste that in. Now again, we are got to adjust this slightly so we can just basically pull it all up, and we also need to reduce the actual text down. So that's about as good as we're going to get it at the moment, but we're going to reduce this text right down. So let's reduce it right down, and I think we're not going to want to go, well, I think 14 maybe looks okay. So let's just see if we can get any, sort this text out. That's better. So there we go, that is that column there done. So let's just quickly save that. Now what we need to do is actually go in and we need to put a margin again around the text. So a 10 padding round the actual text. Okay, so we now have our image, we have our title, and we have our bit of text. What we might also do with the image, if you click on the image, it says you've got no style here, but if you click on open it up, you can get different things in here. So you could even go for a circular picture there if you wanted to, or you could have one with rounded edges, all sorts. So we actually might go with a circle there, and that might, and then just click apply and click save. So we've now got our column as we want it. So we now need to replicate this. So if we click on the title here, and we click on the little icon there, that will then just double up what you've and replicate it. You can then hover over the cross and then drag it into the next thing, and it will replicate it, so you haven't got to fiddle around with the size of the text because you've already done that once. Again, you can do it with the image, so the image will then produce a circular image. You can just drag it into that one. Okay, and again with the text, you can duplicate it and you can drag it across to there. So we've got that in there now 3 times. Okay, if we then click on the text here, and we're only going to want to change a bit of that, so we can change it to Pippa, and we need to change the image, so click on the image and then come across here, change the image, and we want Pippa. Pippa's there, so we can insert that, and there we go, we have an image of Pippa. Now that is slightly bigger for some reason. I think that's because it's a bigger image, so we now need to just reduce that down to the 250. There we go, and that is exactly the same now. And we've got some text we need to change as well, so we can then highlight it and then get rid of the text there and go and copy our text that we've got here. There we go, so copy and paste it and then paste it in to here, and it will need adjusting because it's a different text, so you just need to adjust some of the wordings. As you can see, that is about okay, and we're slightly longer there on her text as well, so you could edit that down if you wanted to, or yeah, whatever suits your fancy. You can mess around with this as much as you want. So again, we need to do another copy for the final paragraph. You can see how easy it is by just dragging and dropping these elements once you've actually done the majority of the work once. Okay, so we now need to do exactly the same. We need Arthur in here. This is the third one. Click on the image, we need to change the image, and we need to go and get Arthur, and we need to insert Arthur, and that image has come. Ideally, we need to even just expand a bit. There we go, and we need to go and grab the wording we've got for Arthur, and there we go. So that is, just get rid of that and paste in Arthur's. Just marry the text up, and there you go. There you have it. You have the 3-column layout we've got there now, which is fantastic. And what we can do as well, let's just click on Bailey. Image looks a little bit, no, it is the same size. It just looked a little bit bigger for some reason, just an optical illusion. Probably his long legs causing it to be an optical illusion. But there you go, so we've got our paragraph at the top, plus we've got our 3 images there with headers and the descriptions on there. And we need to put a bit down the bottom here, so we need another paragraph here. And we need to make sure that that paragraph is not inside the box, so I'll just pull it up and I'll drag it inside the content box, and there we go. We click on it, and as you can see from the top here, we are inside the content box. So again, let's get another little bit of text and copy and paste that in, and we want to to reduce that down again. In fact, just go a bit higher than that. Okay. What I'm also going to do, I'm actually going to add in. So if you forget things, you can just literally add things in by pulling them in between. So I'm going to put a divider in here. So we've got a divider here, and I'm going to pull it in. Okay, so we have our fill here of our divider line. So I'm actually just going to slightly change the color. In actual fact, I'm going to just do it, pull down the opacity of it. So I'll put it down to about 50%. That's about right, that'll do. Click apply, and we're also going to do the thickness. So we can reduce the thickness down. I'm going to go down to 2. So I just want it really faint in the background. And I'm going to lose this padding here. So that pulls it right up underneath the bears. And what I'm also going to do is reduce the width down. So if I can reduce the width down to, let's say, looking at that, about 300. And we're going to centralize it. So there we go. We've now got a title underlined in a slightly different color. And that's how quickly and easy you can put in other elements in between if you want to add stuff at a further date. Okay, so we've got this bit here, this last bit here, so we want a title for that. So again, we're going to need to pull in a heading. So we can pull that in. Just one T and not. Oh no, we need a. Oh no, I'm forgetting. I think it is 2 T's. Right, so we need to reduce that down. So we'll go down to 30, the same as the other. And we need to centralize it. So let's centralize it like that. And yeah, that's fine. And what we're going to do is going to put in another image down here. So put a bigger image, centralize that. And we're going to grab the other image. That's Harvey. And again, we'll probably, let's have a look. We'll make that. Should we circle that? Yeah. What I might actually do is, let's just get that image, pull it up to the side here. And you see what happens. This actually creates a column straight away. So if you've got no column in there but you want to make one, then that is the way to go. And then what you can do is you click on the actual column itself. You can then drag this in. So we're going to drag this back in so it's near the actual image, and we're going to do 30%. And we're going to reduce this image down. So let's reduce this image down, say 200. And again, we want to then centralize this image so that pulls it across. And we want to pull this down so it's level with the actual image. So the image has got a 20 gap at the top, so we can get rid of that. So that pulls the image up. Okay, so that looks much better. Okay, and actually what I want to do is actually pull this header into this other text here. Okay, so I just want to mess about with this header here. So I want to take it across, back across to the right hand side. There we go, and align it there, which is good. So now it's sitting on the left hand side, and I want to put a bit of a margin in there as well. So let's just look at the margins as well. So just want a little bit of a bigger gap there. In actual fact, let's do that at the bottom. That's better, that looks better. Yep, that looks okay. And again, you can mess around with this. Obviously, for the sake of this video, I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. So the last thing we want is just a little bit of text at the bottom, like I was saying. So let's just pull a bit of text in there. And I think I'd already pasted it. So let's have a look. Yep, so we've pasted that. So that is the final bit of text that we want to put in, and we can probably centralize that as well. I think that might look a bit better centralized. There we go. So we can save that. And now the beauty of the Thrive Architect, obviously you can come in here and you can edit everything down. But also if you want to see what it looks like on a mobile, if you come down to the responsive view, the little computer icon here, click on that. So if you want to get a tablet view, you can then click on tablet. And as you can see, it just reduces everything down. And there we go, that's what it'll look like on a tablet. So you can see that it's okay. If you wanted to edit something, you wanted it slightly smaller, slightly bigger, or whatever, you can then edit it on this. And also, you can then click on the mobile view, and then it will reduce it down, and you can see what it looks like on the mobile view. And as you can see from the text here, you can see there's a little board around it, and that's our 10-point margin that we put in, so it doesn't look really crammed up against the thing. Now we've got a problem here, and this is what I mean. Look, we didn't put the 10-point margin within these bits of text. So let's quickly head back. So we head back to our desktop, and we go in there, and we click in there, and we add in our 10 margin. So we've got to save that, and we can put a 10 margin in there, and we can save that. So let's go back on the mobile view, scroll down. Now the text is brilliant, that's all aligned. We've got a problem with this header. What we can do is slightly big probably, so we can then on the mobile we can actually reduce it down. So we can reduce it to 25. And I think what the issue is we're having also is we might want to centralize it. Let's centralize it, and go back. So yeah, so we pushed it across. So we can centralize that as well. So you get a mobile view as well. So, and the page is already there waiting to go, as you can see. So that's the beauty of this plugin. And there you go. So that just gives you everything you need to know. So your first page is up and running. If you wanted to see it on a preview, you just come in and click preview, opens up a new tab, and straight away you've got your preview. So there is our about page for the website. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll put a link to the Thrive Architect below, so you can go and explore that and find out heaps more things of what it will do, and you can go and have a look at that. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to pop them in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Okay, bye for now. If you like this video and want to continue your learning, then please subscribe to my channel right now by clicking on me. Just follow the arrow, it's very simple. Don't forget, I also love to hear from you, so please leave your comments below. Until the next video, take care.